Good morning, everyone. Very good morning. Shall we begin? Today, today we are going to take a activity plan that is a sample student research plan. In this, various stages are carried on, like planning, with information retrieval, information processing. So we have to move on with the activities. So first is name, subject, and the grade. Name is the role, method, and the language is the language arts. Sorry, subject is the language arts, and the grade is grade 7. Theme is communication of the messages. How we communicate, how we can supply the information from one part to another part. So this is a topic statement. I'm going to research how dolphins communicate. I will find out how they make and receive sounds and what the sound means, what they hear, what they make the sounds. So I will also cover the research being done with dolphins and how it might help man to communicate with them. And subtopics are the dolphins, message sending, message receiving, research with the dolphins, man-dolphin communication. So subject headings, dolphin, promises, animal communication, mammals, ocean, marine life. Now, what are the various information resources that is available? Resources are available like books in the school library, magazines, video of the films, and dolphin trainers. Then identify the audience and the presentation format. That includes the poster boards that will be assigned. That includes the instructions with the assignments, write up and 3 to 5 minutes draw. And it also needs a marker, glue or the tape, get post report from the teacher or the teacher library. And who is the audience? 3 or other students in the class, teacher to the pickup. Now next is establish evaluation criteria. What are the various guidelines? 200 to 250 words minimum, illustrations, bibliographic, poster notes, and the 5 questions. Evaluation is notes takes 10%, plan takes 10%, post report 20%, presentation 20%, the information and the language art skills 35%, and the bibliographic 5%. So these are the various evaluation criteria for establishing or for making the notes, for making the plan. The next is a timeline or the time schedule. Start is on November 4. Topic of the subtopic is November 5. Search time is November 8. Rough copy November 12. Final is November 14. Presentation is November 15. Yes, it is used with the same timeline lining. 1 or 2 days is they can rotate from one place to another, but everything is the same. Starting, researching, rough copy, final copy, presentations. And this also helps to make the information resources available within the time budget. For example, when I talk about this example, let's take the previous example again. This is again the language arts and the health subject. Theme is foods. In the last class we have started with, or we have finished with this. So next part that I am using is first to establish a topic. So we are using the planning phase to establish a topic. What are the various phases in which we can use? We can make the arrangements for the topics. What are the various strategies that we followed up? What are the various ways by which we can use? So strategies are brainstorming the list of the foods. What are the various list of food? Categorize them into various parts. Where it comes from, how it is prepared, how it is stored. What are the teacher hints? It either uses a video lectures, either uses a video resources, and also provides a sample of these foods for the added the student awareness. Then identify the information sources, brainstorm likely information sources, browse through the sources, and student also select food to study and locate at least 2 sources. Which part is used when, or what part is used when. So identify the information sources. Then identify the audience and the presentation format. So this presentation formats that includes the poster review, that includes the mobile new, illustrated report review, and the diagram review. So these are the audience and the presentation format that is also takes 15 minutes, and that also used for the brainstorming information, resources information, browse which information, which food to select and locate at least two sources. Then next is establish the evaluation criteria. What is the evaluation criteria by which we can access the material, in which we can access the material, and what are the various major sources that is established over here. The next is list presentation, poster reviews, illustrations, report review, brainstorming, and the list by priority or giving the priority to the evaluation criteria. The next is the review process. The review research plan with the students to identify the important steps in planning. Check each student source list. Whatever the list we are using out, so check each student source list, that is printing or that is collecting the print resources, that collect the print resources on the card for the future use of the student. And the titles of the student learning resources are defined were provided through the courtesy of the alien bakery that is used, and this listing is not constructed as the explicit or the implicit department approval for use, and these are provided as a source or service only to assist the local jurisdiction to identify resources that contain potential useful ideas for teachers. And whatever the responsibility they have, whatever the logic they have, so the responsibility to evaluate these resources prior to selection rests with the local jurisdiction according to the local policy. Next is activity plan or the research activity plan. Then that is used with the locate resources, that is used with the collect resources. And the timing is also the 20 minutes, and the strategies is like review use of the table of the content in the index. Then teacher hints is the gather the AV equipment for the demonstration, and also instruct the students to load, how to instruct, how to load the preview, how to care for the film strips, how to use the VCR, and how to use the audio cassette recorders. The next is review process. Reviewer has learned about locating information, elicit suggestions for different resources, mark preliminary list of the resources for each student to ensure adequate resources. Then stage 3 is relevant information or the information processing. So choose the relevant information that is carried out by modeling how to select information on a sample form. Use the note-making sheet on the overhead. So teacher hints is use the resources from the previous year. Then evaluate information, distribute the note-making sheets, and have students begin to gather the information that sets up the VCR, film strip, and the audio cassettes. Then it also assists the students individually as it is needed. So organize and record the information. It is also for the 1 hour. Then get the poster paper, virtual board, craft supplies, transparency sheets. The next is create the product. In this, the students draft the presentation format, either locate the editable table or editing the table, then revise and edit. So just review the editing skills, focus on the tools, focus on the reviewed material. So this focus on how it is used or how to review the editing tool, focus on the content. Then students also provide the answer to all of these questions and also prepare the final draft, then evaluate the written product. Revise and edit. Then review process, review what has learned or what was learned and discuss transferability. So these are the various parts that is used or that makes the suggestions, so that makes the sample research plan or activity plan that is also continued with this for information retrieval, information processing. When we say about the information retrieval, how we can retrieve the data, how we can retrieve the information, and processing means how we can process that information, whether that information is useful, relevant, or the information sharing. So presents the finding, whatever the findings they are using up. So this strategy is used with the review the presenters and the audio skills. Students practice the presentation with the normal person, and the students also present the information that is 3 to 4 per day. Then focus on the positive comments and or questions that teacher evaluates. So whatever the teacher evaluates, that is also used for the information sharing. And teacher hints, book library for the presentations, arrange the table for demonstration, or the overhead projectors. Demonstration includes how practically they are showing off, what are the needs, what are the qualities, what are the processing needs. Then review process, that is also takes 40 minutes. Review the skills and strategies for presenting and discuss their further application. Further application includes what are the procedure, what are the skills they are using, how they respond in the written form, how they present the information with the written form. Then stage number 5 is evaluation. So it is also used for evaluate the products, that is for the 50 minutes, evaluate throughout the assignments, review steps in research, evaluate the research procedures and the skills, then review process, elicit what has learned during the research activity, focus on the skills and the strategies, discuss how these skills and strategies will transfer. Then from the teacher point of view, revise the checklist and the evaluation criteria used for the product. So whatsoever the information they are carried out, whatsoever the data they are carried out, so they can gather the information within that budget only. Now what about more directed help for my students? So when a teacher develops a research activity that includes each and every stage, skills, and students are often asked to provide a plan for their research. This plan requires the student to summarize the procedures that he or she will follow in researching a topic, contains those elements that are determined by the teacher or the teacher librarian, and provides the reference points to the guide student research, then serves as a checklist for teacher or the teacher librarian to ensure that it is appropriate and students will guide or focus on the self-evaluation procedures. That includes the information such as student's name and the grade, study themes, topic or the thesis statement, subtopic for the research. Then evaluation criteria for the process and the output for the content, timelines and the approval.